The rain had just stopped when Jordan Miles stepped onto the cracked sidewalk of Maple and 3rd, his hood pulled low against the chill. Neon from a corner bodega flickered across the wet pavement, painting the night in restless streaks of red and blue. 10 minutes earlier, he did watched a stranger slip through the alley behind the bodega, then heard the sharp crack of a gunshot that sliced the quiet like glass. Now, the wail of approaching sirens cut through the damp air. Patrol cars screeched to a halt, lights pulsing against brick walls slick with rain. Officers spilled out, weapons drawn, the usual storm of radios and shouted commands following them. Jordan raised both hands instinctively, palms open. "Sir, back away!" an officer barked, his flashlight blinding. "This is an active crime scene." "I saw it," Jordan said, voice steady despite the adrenaline roaring in his ears. "Guy in a gray hoodie ran that way. North alley, threw something behind the dumpster." The officer's light lingered on his dark skin, on the worn hoodie and work boots. A quick glance, a silent judgment. "You saw it," the cop repeated, as if the words were suspicious by default. Another cruiser arrived. Out stepped Sergeant Whitaker, tall, weathered, the kind of man who carried authority like a second weapon. He looked Jordan over the way people appraise a used car, checking for dents, deciding its worth. "Who are you?" "Jordan Miles. I live 2 blocks down. I heard the shot, came out, saw the guy." Whitaker's eyebrow rose. "You live around here?" "Yes, sir. Apartment 2C, right by... Any ID?" Jordan reached slowly into his pocket, movements deliberate. He knew the drill. Wallet open, license out. Whitaker studied it longer than necessary. "Maintenance worker," he read aloud. "You work nights?" "Sometimes," Jordan said. "Tonight was my day off." The sergeant's eyes narrowed. "Convenient." A rookie officer jogged up, whispering something about a store clerk who had called 911 after hearing the shot, but hadn't seen the shooter. Whitaker turned back to Jordan. "So you're our only witness?" "Looks like it." "That's interesting," Whitaker said, the words laced with quiet doubt. "Because people don't usually hang around after gunshots unless they have got a reason." Jordan felt the old heat rise in his chest, the one that came whenever someone decided his skin color was reason enough. He kept his voice calm. "My reason is that someone's bleeding out in an alley. I thought that mattered." Whitaker's gaze flicked to the alley, then back. "Describe him." "Gray hoodie, dark jeans, about 6 feet. Limped on the left side. Dropped something metallic behind the dumpster near the back door of the bodega." The sergeant studied him a long moment, then turned to the rookie. "Check it out." The young officer disappeared into the alley. Minutes dragged. Rain dripped from the eaves. Whitaker paced, boots crunching broken glass. "Mr. Miles," he said finally, "you got any record I should know about? Anything that might make you less reliable?" Jordan's jaw tightened. "No record. Not even a parking ticket." "Uh-huh." Whitaker's eyes held that cold, measuring look. "Mind if we search you?" "For what?" "Standard procedure when someone inserts themselves into an active investigation." Jordan exhaled slowly. "Do what you need to do." He spread his arms. Hands patted him down, pockets turned inside out, while neighbors peeked from windows across the street. He felt their eyes, felt the weight of being both witness and suspect. The rookie returned, breathless. "Sarge, you need to see this." Whitaker followed him toward the alley, motioning for Jordan to stay put. Jordan waited, heart thudding. Voices murmured. Flashlights sliced the darkness. Then Whitaker reappeared, holding a small black object sealed in an evidence bag. "A hidden camera," the rookie explained, excitement breaking through his professional tone. "It was wedged behind the dumpster, motion activated, lights still blinking. Looks like it recorded everything." Whitaker turned the device in his hand, face unreadable. "You knew this was there?" he asked Jordan. "No," Jordan said. "I just saw the guy toss something shiny. Figured it mattered." The sergeant studied him again, but something had shifted, an almost imperceptible softening around the eyes. He nodded to the rookie. "Take it to the cruiser. Let's review the footage." Inside the patrol car, the screen lit the night with pale blue. Rain-specked images flickered, the alley empty at first. Then a man in a gray hoodie limping into view, pistol glinting under the bodega's backlight. He tossed the gun behind the dumpster, bent down, and placed the small camera on a ledge. Unaware, its red indicator blinked steadily. Then he turned toward the street. Clear face, distinct tattoo across his neck. The rookie let out a low whistle. "That's Devin Lark. Been looking for him for weeks." Whitaker leaned back, exhaling. "No doubt about it." He stepped out of the car, the evidence bag tucked under one arm. The sergeant's eyes found Jordan, who stood silently under the street lamp. Rainwater beaded on his jacket, his stance patient but unyielding. "Mr. Miles," Whitaker said, voice quieter now. "Looks like you were right." Jordan gave a small nod. "I usually am when I say what I saw." For a long moment, the only sound was the soft hiss of water draining into the gutters. Around them, the neighborhood watched through curtains and cracked doors. Whitaker cleared his throat. "I owe you an apology. I doubted you. Shouldn't have." Jordan studied him, searching for any trace of sarcasm. There was none, just the heavy weight of a man recognizing his own prejudice. "Apology accepted," Jordan said finally. "But maybe next time, believe the witness before the camera." The words landed like stones in still water, rippling outward. The rookie shifted uncomfortably. Whitaker nodded once, slow and deliberate. "We'll need a formal statement," he said. "After that, if you ever consider joining the department, you'd make a damn good investigator." Jordan allowed himself the smallest of smiles. "I'll stick to fixing boilers and leaky pipes, but thanks." As the officers packed up, neighbors emerged, murmuring about the hidden camera, about the man who had quietly stood his ground. Some clapped him on the back, others simply nodded in respect. Later, walking home under the fading wail of sirens, Jordan replayed the night in his mind. The suspicion, the questions, the subtle insults. The proof had come not from his words, but from a piece of forgotten technology left by the criminal himself. Yet what lingered wasn't anger. It was the quiet satisfaction of knowing that truth, however delayed, had spoken louder than bias. And maybe, just maybe, the next time Sergeant Whitaker stood across from someone who looked like him, he'd remember the man who waited patiently in the rain until a hidden camera confirmed everything.